Hi, YouTube. I hope you're all doing good. I'm doing okay. My heart's really sad, though. I saw a bunch of women just getting pummeled by men again in sports, and I'm going to share a JP Reacts little video, 14-minute video. You need to see what's happening. And like this one woman fighter, having to fight a man, when you see that, um, and maybe like me, maybe she didn't really even want to fight in her life, but wasn't given any choice. So decided to become the best woman in her sport, you know? Um, and these men that would even want to compete against women or harm women in any way. This is ridiculous. This is getting way out of hand. I've been in situations where I wasn't given a choice to fight, but there's I mean, even like Doug and I, he's like I'm this thick in my rib cage, or like about like that, and he's about like that. He's like double me wide, you know? So, yeah, this is no joke what these men are doing and I'm asking all women, if not all people out in this world, to boycott any sport where a man is competing in the guise of a woman against women. I'm pleading with you, do not support that type of nonsense, because I have been in the position where I wasn't competing with men, but they were competing with me because hatred, whatever the reason. But it is non-protection. Don't you think somebody bigger and stronger should actually protect somebody smaller and weaker? Wouldn't you, for a friend or any human being on this planet? Well, this is who is ultimately the mothers, the grandmothers. I can see a lot of women being hurt by pretend men, and society is being groomed to overlook this. And then comes the children with the Noahide laws and all their. This is preconditioning in the public eye for what they want to do in the future. To just have that in our society, almost like the wild, wild west was, but only, or like some countries, it's okay to beat your wife and daughters or whatever. I mean, this is not in practical what I'm telling you, the reality of what is being put into play. Women in danger from a large majority of men that hate us. It's a fact. It's a fact. So, yeah, anyway. Very few men are aware of the protection mode they should be in that area for the protection of your mothers, your wives, and your daughters, your sisters, everybody. Yeah, because it's happening all over the place and they want it to be acceptable, where the women and children will suffer and are suffering at the hands of many men. And looked up how screwed up the world is. Think about the jerk people out in public. Well, that's just a part of a clue what they're like behind closed doors. You're in my closed door. I speak my mind. It's an open door for you. And there's things like even the other day I can't spell and I have dyslexia, okay? But how could I ever read? I found a method. I had to, I don't know, a grace of God keeps it still in my mind most of the time. And I can make that connection in a different way than how other people are designed. Stephen Bendanoon has dyslexia. I know he can relate. Some of us have it differently. Some of us have it very severe. Um, Other people can barely even function because of it. But it does make reading difficult, and it makes, when you're looking at words, it makes it harder to see them, and especially the English language is so, it's very unique because it has to incorporate every language on the planet for the codes, and the numbers. That's what it's all about. And that's so deceiving within itself. It's the flippin' language all over the world that's incorporated, just like the religions or the non-religions. It's all incorporated by the dark cabal, not for the Christ that we have within our hearts, you know. We know when the Spirit of God is talking to us. We all do. There's these men that are beating on women and stuff, whether it's behind closed doors or in the public eye, with committees that deem a man that has a surgery fit to beat down a woman with a slip of paper, and a committee that says this is going to be okay. In what up world is this allowed to happen? You know, if people are waiting for Satan to be loose, you better check the time in the world. So pray that God steps in and stops these monsters, because trying to pray for their Christ spirit to go into their hearts has not been working. So all they can do is pretend. Well, we can't live in a pretend world that people are getting hurt um, legally with a signing of a paper. No, no more. I'm not gonna. I mean, if I feel like crying, people have a problem. You know, nobody likes to cry, right? Some of you need to cry, and you need to cry sorrowfully, shamefully, not for yourself. I've always said I don't care what people do out of the public eye. That's between you and God. When you bring it into the public eye, that's between you and everybody else, not just you and God anymore. So drop it right there. And when people are getting hurt, and it does reflect on the children, you can all go yourself with your retarded freak shows. I'm not buying it, and I'm not putting up with it. If I saw that in public, yeah, I'm a different type of woman, but perhaps these women that got hurt thought they were too, because I know many men have tried to kill me. And do you think I was asking for it? Or perhaps you're of the mindset that we that get hurt by men are deserving of that somehow. Or we put ourselves in that position to be hurt. Is that what people are thinking. What are you thinking? You know, this isn't a game that these people are playing dress up like men and dress up like women. This is not a fucking game. This is a satanic order of a mindset of people that are working for the dark cabal. Can you get that part? Do you understand that? Because that's exactly what it is, a part of the regime, not just agendas. The war against God and Satan, whatever, and people are, and that's not his name. Okay, the good force and the dark force, the good source and the dark force. There's your opposing. So, anyway. Yes, it's upsetting when I feel like crying because I see women getting pummeled by huge men, and I've protected other people in circumstances. But I mean, even a woman in a Marine had a dude jump on her and then come back and take something and bash her, and the other dudes had to pull him off her, you know. Wait, I'm going to share this video. You need to see it. You'll see this beautiful athletic woman boxer get pummeled by a slob freak show. And he looks like a pig next to her, a big ass pig that wants to hurt a woman. So he lowers his manhood, signs up as pretending to be female, still a male, trans. Why do we even say male then in there? Because they have to. It's not going to help with the sins that they're committing towards people. And the women that are doing that, pretending to be men, this is all a part of a dark plan. And they can repent for it and it can be fixed. But what they've done, they still are going to pay recompense for that. It's not, gee, I'm sorry, forgive me. Yeah, but it's going too far. That's where you have to pay to play. This isn't, oh, I love you, and if you don't do what I tell you to do, you're not going to be okay in the future. Well, in a sense, that's somewhat because you're buying your own ticket. I don't have control over that. All we can do is pray for the hearts and the minds of the people that are being deceiving, not and for the ones that are being deceived and hurt. So they know what they're doing at this point. They're not children. Yes, their souls will go on, and maybe someday they'll get it right. That's why it says in the scriptures, and I agree to this, that no one will perish. Of course not. But why wouldn't we strive to help them get it right now so they don't have to start as an amoeba and they can earn wings quicker, so to speak? Yeah, and if you don't talk to people like people and you just are ignorant of that teaching within ourselves and not even talk about it, that is negligent on our part. We're being remiss. We're not doing our jobs if we don't speak out on every point. Yes, it is out of love, especially for the people that are getting hurt. And the little people seeing all this, shame on all that, for real. That's regression in a big, that's so regressed. I have barely any words for it. And I don't give a who says this has been happening for centuries. No, yeah, right? It has. It's time to quit. Now it's so public that there isn't a child in any home anywhere in the world that doesn't have to feel that pain, that sickness of the oddity of it all. You and your stupid shit. Yeah, if you think different than that. That your heart doesn't go out to all the people being harmed by all this retarded, fucked up, evil shit. It is demonic. People need to get a handle on that. What time of day it actually is. You know, these people changing themselves are doing it for their master. As hard as that is to accept, it's a fact. Because you wouldn't think anybody, any human out in the world is going to be anything but, yes, um, they are who they are, obviously, right? Or don't you believe that we should believe what people show us who they are? We shouldn't believe that. They're surely showing us who they serve, aren't they? And there's a pill for that. No, I'm not giving medical advice. It was a joke. YouTube. But what's happening to women and children is no joke. And the men that will stand up for that and speak on that out of love for the ones that are being harmed, not the ones that are doing the harming. And that, I believe, is the time of day we're living in. And that's why I'm willing to offend anybody with the truth of protection for everybody. And I'm not playing Satan's little game of, oh, everybody's gonna be loved and daddy loves you all and you can do anything and be forgiven. Yeah, you can. But right now you're gonna fucking pay for this shit. You made hell. You make your own bed. You will accept the consequences of your deeds. You know, and then maybe some time in infinity, you might stop doing things the wrong way and actually make it. And that's as plain as I can say that. So, yeah. And if you see ahead, you know you already did. That doesn't give you free reign to just say, hey, I can be stupid from here until then, because you could be having a satanic flash there. That might not be real, you know, for anybody that's had visions. So it's not definitive, because uh, Lucifer thought he was okay too till he wasn't, you know. You don't want to get pushy. When somebody can make or break you, that's not somebody you want to offend, is it? But people will try. Well, that's stupid, isn't it? When you ultimately can't do anything for yourself, not even make the air you suck, it's pretty stupid to offend the person that can give you that, you know? But some people just suck that old air and don't even give glory to the one who put it here. That's sucky of them. So I'm not going to pay homage to the people that don't pay homage to the one that is, yes, all good. Because there's no evil found in God. Don't pretend there isn't. Just because he made good or evil, yes, so you can make a decision. Should should probably be the will of God, but if not, then it's still your free will, isn't it? If he just made you all good, you would not have free will. But since we don't have all good in us, we have that moment to moment decisions to make every second we're alive. May God be with you all, for real. Because that's important. Everything we say, think, and do in the public eye affects everybody. And it's nothing. And then once you're out there, you're fair game. So if you get picked on, shut the fuck up or go crawl back under your rock. This is a world. There's not just one person. No. But when we have people acting criminal, they need to be in cages. If they can't conform to norm, just because a skunk is pretty from a distance doesn't mean I want it in my general vicinity, unless it's been deglammed, So, yeah. So that's, I really hope that touched somebody's heart enough to actually speak the truth on the behalf of the ones that are being harmed by it all, not the ones that are doing the harming, whether they're women pretending to be men or men pretending to be women. It is not the norm of our society, and our women and children out here do come first, and men that are family minded aren't usually in the fighting mode of mind, but they've been forced in a corner like I have been, and it's time for this shit to stop. Just stop it. They need to be protected more. This is ridiculous. It's horrible beyond words. I do believe without even getting hit, I would have never had a stroke. But it weakened a spot in my temple. In my temple, you know? And that's not a joke. One little hit from a man, even in the right spot directed by that dark force, is enough to kill or maim or harm forever a woman or a child. This can't be allowed in our society, in our world. And the women that are helping Satan's plan, shame on all you people. You're criminal. People helping those people, you're criminal. You're going to these events, you're supporting that, you're criminal. You have it in your schools, in your churches, rainbow, this, that. Take it away. It's time for everybody to really constitute a family or don't be a part of God's family. Is that clear? You don't believe God created this earth? He did not create as the same sex to procreate. The freak show is not the reality. That's the satanic regime, the plan. They got it in writing, for Christ's sake, in black and white. The fucking agendas that have been out here for over 20 years now telling people. Do you think it's a game or a joke what they're doing, what they're implementing? It's not. I don't mean to yell at you. I love you. Damn it. Listen up. This is serious. This is how serious it is right now, because little by little they sneak these things in and take more away from every human being. Not what you do in private, what's being done in public. And if you're a public mouthpiece, then it's time to speak up on this. We can't let this normalize. This is the United States of America, and freedoms were born here for mostly European type blood, because there were a lot of strong women leaders in the native communities. So um, they cherished their families like that. But there's a lot of cultures that don't, and they're trying to implement that in our society, and we can't allow this. It's one nation under God, and it's a family minded society that we built this on. And that's true, and it's got to stand for God and nothing else. Yes, with all the love in our heart, but when people are being harmed and it's being normalized, we have to either help stop this or let it continue and pray that judgment day will come soon. No, we take action, we speak out, and we form our societies. That's how it's done. We help God. We just don't sit on our asses and pray something's going to change. We help make that change. We tell everybody that's going to listen the truth of the situation, all of it. Yes, it's heavy, it's entailed, and a lot of people don't want to hear it. Who's worth your time, you know? And who's trying to take you away from speaking on what's truly important in the world, is the world issues and the mental health of the people in the world. That's what makes wars, that's what makes love, the mental health of everybody, you know? And that's a spiritual thing. With our minds, it's nothing else. That's the war we have. Who's in? Who's in for the good guys, you know? Who's in for the women and the children, the families, and the strong men trying to help stop this stuff? Are you in? I sure am. I know whose army I serve. I know my master, and I'm not ashamed to call somebody master, and I'm not glorified because of that. Like Satan doesn't have to promise me something, because I know I'm a part of God. I don't need a promise from somebody on that. None of us do. So even Christ was sent to help you talk to God, to seek God's face, not praise him, you know. Although all glory to God and his sacrifice of giving his son to come here and help our dumbasses, you know. If you have the Spirit of God, you're not a dumbass. Might depend on how much of that you carry. Maybe you're just a newbie. No, no excuses. Shut her down, Sparky. Enough of that. Sparky was a seal, a trained seal at the zoo. by my in well in St. Paul, Minnesota, by the way. Pretty cool animal. They had several of them through the years, like seal shows in and out of the pools and different things. Penguins and cool. I always thought it was remarkable how penguins and seals, their movements are similar in the water, but one's a bird and one's a fish. Well, they're both mammals, of course, but that was super remarkable for me as a kid. My favorite thing to visit at the zoo, you know. They didn't seem so locked up like some of them, but yeah. Minnesota Zoo is pretty cool. It's got like like where the Bengal tigers are, they've got like a low-lying swampy area like they like to lay in, and they got high ground and trees or open areas, so it's really beautiful. For some of their animals, they have what their exhibit areas are large at the Minnesota Zoo, but yeah, so that's kind of cool. Well, I'm gonna get this uploaded and share that Women's Sports Just Got More Masculine by JP Reacts. It's worth a watch. If it doesn't get you heated to protect women and children, I don't know what's going to. And family-minded men, I mean the family and the structure of society. Um, if you take the tenderness out of the world, you're going to be in hell. You will go to hell for supporting this shit. You can love everybody, but this isn't the time for us to be all lovey-dovey on this type of thing at all. I don't have love or compassion for these men or women that are playing this game for Satan at all. This is the time I'm living in. This is demonic. They are led by demons. And that is the essence of what's going on in the world. So protect yourself, people. Just keep safe. There's a lot of people that are so set back. I don't see them sitting at the same table as us in the future. It's going to take them longer. So don't cry for them. They're making their own decisions. You've cried enough for people, so have I. It's time to stop that shit and protect the ones that need protecting. So, all right. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.